Unit 12. Hard work. Silas Marner. Silas Marner is a weaver who lives in the village of Ravellow in England. The other people in the village are not very friendly to Silas because he is new to the village and he lives alone. 15 years earlier, Silas had been engaged to be married to a girl called Sarah. One day, while Silas was taking care of a friend who was sick, a bag of money disappeared from under the friend's bed. A man called William Dane finds the empty bag and Silas' friends decide that he is guilty of stealing the money. Later, William marries Sarah instead, and Silas decides to move to the village of Ravellow. The only thing he cares about is his work as a weaver. All Silas wants to do is work as hard as he can to earn as much money as he can. The richest man in Ravellow, Squire Cass, has two sons, Dunstan and Godfrey. The two sons have their own problems which they hide from their father, and they always want to have more money. One night, a bag of gold is stolen from Silas' house, and the whole village joins in to look for it. The local people feel sorry for him and are more friendly to him. Silas is angry and wants to solve the mystery. Vocabulary practice. Exercise number 2. Use these words to complete the definitions. We have disappear, guilty, mystery, solve, engaged, weaver. Number 1, a space is something unknown. Great, mystery. Number 2, a space, person, did something bad. Yes, a guilty person. To space something is to find the answer. Great, to solve. Space is a person who makes cloth. Great, weaver. To space is to become impossible to find. To disappear. To be space is to be in a relationship, to get married, to be engaged. One evening, Silas returns to his cottage and finds a small girl sleeping near the fireplace. The girl is cold and hungry. Silas thinks something must have happened to her parents. They might have had an accident. He decides to look after her. He calls her Eppie. The other people in the village are surprised, but they think that Silas cannot be a bad person because he wants to look after the girl. They also help him. Silas is now happier. He realizes that his new daughter is more important to him than gold. When Eppie is 18, Silas' gold is found and returned to her. It was Dunstan who took the money all those years ago because he didn't want to ask his father for money. Godfrey is sorry about what his brother did and thinks Silas must be angry with him. He and his wife offer to look after Eppie. However, Eppie wants to stay with Silas. Silas decides to return to his old village with Eppie. He wants to prove that he wasn't guilty of stealing all those years earlier. When he arrives, he finds that everything has changed and he cannot find anyone that he used to know. Silas feels that he can now forget about his unpleasant part of his history and he returns happily to Brevilo. Language. Exercise number 4. Underline the modal verbs in these sentences from the conversations you listen to. Number 1. Something must have happened to her parents. They might have had an accident. Silas can't be a bad person. All his customers like him. It's 8 o'clock at night and Silas is still working. He must have got another customer. Yes, that must be why he is working so late. Focus on language. Modal verbs of possibility, must, can't, and might. We use must plus infinitive without to when you are sure about something. The past form is must have plus past participle. My friend won the gold medal. He must be happy now. Pay attention to the keyword. Silas stays up late. He must have work to do. We use can't plus infinitive without to when you are sure something is not possible. The past form is can't have plus past participle. He always does his work seriously. He can't be careless. It can't have been easy to move to another place. She liked her village very much. Pay attention to the tense here. It's past simple tense. Use might plus infinitive without to when you are not sure about something. The past form is might have plus past participle. Sir is absent. She might be ill. I'm not sure. They are looking under the table and all around. They might have lost something. Vocabulary. Number one, match the words in bold to the definitions. Number one, this is the story of the book. Yes, it's the plot. Number two, these are the people in the story. Great, these are the characters. Number three, this is the idea or moral in the story. Yes, it's the theme. Number four, this is how fast the story moves. Yes, it's pace. This type of book is very exciting. It's a page turner. Modal verbs of possibility, must, can't, or might. To express the present part or the present tense, you can use must, can't, or might plus the infinitive form, the present participle of the verb. For example, he must be rich. This means that he is definitely rich. This is the present tense. She can be Egyptian. She doesn't speak Arabic. She is definitely not Egyptian. They might be English. They speak English well. It is possible that they are English. But to express the past tense of an action, if you are sure of something, if you are not sure of something, if you are sure that something is not accurate, is not correct, but the tense is in the past tense, so you can use must, can't, or might have plus past participle of the verb. For example, where is my textbook? I must have lost it. It means that I am sure that I lost it. He definitely lost his or her textbook. She only started 5 minutes ago. She can't have finished yet. She definitely has not finished. It's too early. Nabil wasn't at school yesterday. He might have been sick. It's possible that Nabil was sick yesterday. Past tense. It is correct to say Ali can be sad. He has won a gold medal. We use can't here because we are sure that something is not wrong, is not correct. He has won a gold medal, so it is not correct to say that he is sad. We are sure that he is not sad, so you can use can't here. We can't say mustn't because it expresses obligation here. In deduction, the negative form of must be is cannot be. Okay, language exercise. Number one, complete the sentences with must have, can't have, or might have, and the past participle of the verbs in brackets. Number one is answered as an example. The players are all very happy. They must have won the match. Number two, Tariq is in the hospital because he sprained his arm in the accident. They are not sure. They are not sure here means that we can use might or may, right? We can't use must or can't here in this sentence. Yes, Tariq is in the hospital because he might have broken his arm. Great. Number three, everyone in the photo is wearing a big coat. The space is very cold. Yes, everyone is wearing a big coat. This means that it must have been very cold. You space Farida this morning. She is in London. Great. You can't have seen Farida this morning. I cannot remember where I took this photo. I might have taken it in Rome, but I am not sure. I might have taken it in Rome. Marwan space with his brother when you saw him. He only has a sister. Yes, Marwan can't have been with his brother when you saw him. He only has a sister. Exercise number 2. Choose the correct answer. The first one is answered as an example. Ahmed has a souvenir of the Eiffel Tower. He might have been to Paris. Perhaps he spent a holiday there. Number 2. They space have won the match. They didn't score any goal. Yes, they can't have won the match. Number 3. He space be a clever mechanic. He always repairs our cars well. Yes, he must be a clever mechanic. Laila felt ill after she ate at the restaurant yesterday. The food space have been bad. Great. Must have been bad. Sammy's space have traveled to Alexandria yesterday. He was in Cairo. Great. He can't have traveled. Mariam has lived in London for 20 years. Great. She must speak English well. I space spend a weekend in my village. I haven't decided yet. I might spend a weekend in my village.